Welcome everyone to today's matchup between Lil Fellas and Dal White. It's a best of 3 scrims in the Platinum Elo. Starting off, we have Lil Fellas on the red side versus Dal White on the blue. Looking at these team comps, I like how Lil Fellas drafted their comp. They have a nice beefy front line with this Amumu and Alistar, as well as the Gnar, especially when he goes Mega Gnar. What I want to see from them is them playing around the cage and utilizing the cage for CC. But at the same time, for Dal White, I like how they drafted theirs. If they can land any type of CC or single man CC from this Pantheon, followed up by a Rel and a Rumble ult on top of that, they have a nasty wombo combo that can annihilate Lil Fellas if done properly. Dal White with a slight little invade, trying to get some vision, but they were on wards the whole time. Lil Fellas knew where they were and they know where he's starting. It would appear that the Amumu is going to be pathing from top to bot, and this Fiddlestick's going to start on the bottom and clear the top side. So what I want to see out of this is I want to see Lil Fella's bot lane either play safe and allow Dal White to push them under tower so that Amumu can get a solid gank, or I want them to press this these first 3 waves and have a nice little bounce back. A little bit of trading going on, nothing too crazy. Just trying to trade some HP bars, maybe pop a health potion on either side. Both of these teams, if they play to their champion's strengths, they can have a huge impact. Anyone can have a huge impact in these team fights. But being able to blow some summoners prior to it would be beneficial, and or ults. If either team can waste like a Gnar ult or a Rumble ult prior to the actual team fight, it could actually benefit either side. Gnar with a nice little stun, doing the best he can to try and push this wave under so it can bounce back. Rumble is extremely strong. With his E, he's able to Rumble, jumping in, getting that stun, able to do a little bursting, but the Vigar was able to trade back. It seemed like an even trade. But back to what I was trying to say with the top lane, Rumble is able to really shred magic resist from these champions with his E. So if he can land a couple of power E's on any of the front line between the Rumble and the Fiddlesticks, they can really melt Lil Fellas down. Here in the bot lane, we have Rel unmounted, looking just for a simple engage just to try and get there. He goes. He lands the knockback. He lands the stun. Alistar able to knock him back. Amumu here. He's coming in. He misses the bandage toss. Jhin able to trade back a little bit, but that I think that went into Dal White's favor for trading. Fiddlesticks on the top side trying to grab the scuttle. Meanwhile, Lil Fellas was able to secure the scuttle on the boss side. Here comes Amumu back for another gank. Alistar flash, missed the knockup. Bandage toss went wide. Rel goes in, lands a knockup. Lil Fellas focusing their attention onto the Draven. He gets exhausted. First blood falls over to the Rel. Can they get this kill on the Draven? Draven goes down. Jin's able to pick it up. The 4th shot. 4th shot. Is it going to execute him? Jhin with a double kill and a 2-1 lead for Lil Fellas. Gnar about to go mega. Is he going to jump in? He jumps in. He looks for the stun. He's able to combo his abilities and get a nice chunk. This Vigar, all I want to see from this Vigar right now is just consistent stacking. If he can stack, he'll become a huge threat in the late game. Right now, we got the first dragon about to spawn in 1 minute until grubs. With the backing of Lil Fellas, Amumu starts this dragon. I don't think it's smart. I think Amumu should have at least waited until his bot lane came back down, because he also does not have prior in the mid lane. Even though he's doing well now, at any point in time he could be spotted. Right now, Rel's roaming up. He's gonna spot Lil Fellas doing this dragon. Lil Fellas secures the dragon. Rumble walking in, forcing the flash out of Gnar. Draven getting some poke out. Right now, playing inside of an enemy team's wave is not a good thing. If you land an auto attack and you have about 5-6 minions or 7 minions attacking you, you got to think, especially in the early stages, you might as well have taken 3 or 4 axes to the face from Draven. Cage goes up. Q misses. Alistar looking. Rel jumps in. Amumu's here. Banish toss lands. Lil Fellas, they're split focus. Amumu's looking for the Draven. Draven's looking for the kill. There's Pantheon comes in. Oh, it's able to land that kill. TP following in. Dal White trying to disengage, trying to back off. Jhin looking. The flash Cage able to land. Jhin looking for the kill on the Pantheon. Can they get the kill? Meanwhile, Alistar trying to get that kill onto the Draven. Draven goes down to the final Q of Veigar, landing a double kill for Lil Fellas, putting them to a 4-2 leading kills and only 300 gold up. But right now, all the kills are on the carries. Gnar just trying to sustain. He shouldn't try and do too much. Fiddlesticks is looking. He has ult. He charges. He goes in. He gets the fear. They jump on him. Down goes Gnar. But right now, all the gold is on the carries, which is the best case scenario for Lil Fellas. They need to continue this momentum and not give up any type of lead that they have. Even though the gold is in their favor, that's just because of turret platings. When it comes to these carries, the carries have the lead for Lil Fellas. They need to control it and not make any mistakes. As well as grubs. The first set of grubs was set over to Fiddlesticks or to Dal White. They were able to secure those first 3 grubs. Moving forward, I want to see Lil Fellas try and fight for the next set of grubs, because if they let 6 grubs go over, that could be detrimental to them in the later stages of the game. Right now, Veigar is stacking nicely. He has 73 stacks. If he keeps doing what he's doing, he's going to become a huge threat. Pantheon jumps in, tries to negate some damage. Cage doesn't land, but Pork Roll is able to land some Qs. Pork Roll winning out on that trade, and the consistent trade. A range versus melee matchup, it should always go in favor of the ranged champion. So Pork Roll is doing extremely well in that case. Right now we have both jungles facing the bot lane, or coming towards the bot lane. Lil Fellas know that Fiddlesticks is here because he walked onto a trap. Amumu's looking to grab his Gromp. Fiddlesticks made back. Rumble ult coming out, goes a little wide, didn't get the full channel off on it. If he would have thrown it backwards, he may have been able to get every full damage and actually even land the kill. Gnar goes Mega. With 30 seconds until this Hex Tech Dragon. I want to see, there it is, Alistar engaging in. Curtain calling opening. Can the Banish Toss land? Banish Toss lands. They're focusing onto the Rel. Can they get the Rel? Jin is holding onto that forward shot for the final kill. That wasn't a smart idea. He should have fired that off. Meanwhile, Pantheon jumps behind him, gets the stun. Lil Fellas have to turn around, try to protect the backline. They're unable to do it. Pantheon moving forward, focusing the Jin. Jin goes down. Now everyone turns their attention onto the Moo for a 3-for-0 Dal White. Fiddlesticks with the ult. He goes in, he gets the fear. He's going to start. He's going to be doing as much damage as he possibly can. He's unable to get that kill, but he does force this Veigar out of lane. Veigar will have to back, and because Veigar does not have TP, this is actually very good for the Pantheon. He should be able to get some plating off of it. If a Mumu doesn't cover, that could be at least 2 platings. Grublings are up. Flash out of the Amumu. Banish Toss, second Banish Toss lands. He's going for the kill on this. Gnar goes down, he couldn't get the Mega Gnar. Amumu trying to get that kill, he's unable to land it. Here comes the Rel. Are they going to be able to do anything? Rel dives in, he lands a stun. Empowered Q comes out from the Pantheon, is able to secure that kill on the Amumu. And that's gonna be 6 Grublings going over to Dal White, putting them in a very significant lead over Lil Fellas. Right now with Veigar should be looking just to continue to push and abuse the fact that Pantheon's not going to be in lane most of the time. The Veigar can't rotate as fast as the Pantheon due to his semi-global ult. So what I want to see is this Veigar continuously pushing and trying to take plates while the Pantheon roams. But as long as he allows his team to know, his team should be able to play safe enough. Draven speeds up, trying to get some poke damage. Rumble with a 20 CS lead over this Gnar, a beautiful equalizer, but unfortunately he's unable to get the kill. Amumu is still topside. Fiddlesticks is bot. Let's see, can they get anything from this? If they can get a pick, they can go straight to Dragon. Amumu now backing. Cage comes out, doesn't do much damage because of that, because of the Pantheon. Dal White starting the Dragon. It appears that Lil Fellas are trying to converge. They know that they've started it. TPs are up for both sides. Dal White's able to secure that Dragon and nothing else expended. With Herald coming up and Dragon not available, what I want to see right now is I want to see the jungle be pathing topside and allowing this bot lane to just farm it out. If bot lane can just farm it out, then they have a better opportunity of scaling later into the game because Draven's strongest in the early game. Alistar knock up, knock back. Amumu with the ult. They're focusing the Rel. They're trying to kill this Rel. Rel finally goes down to Zavi. Cage misses, but barely. But with this information and the Rumble TPing bot, they're looking to take some of this. They're looking to take this Banish Toss in onto the Draven. Dal White looking to jump onto this Rumble. The Rumble with a huge equalizer. Dal White is winning this fight. What can they do? Jin is nowhere to be found. Rumble and Pantheon able to get that get the kill onto the Amumu. That was an unfortunate fight for Lil Fellas. They should have noticed that they were too far extended and that they could have been flanked. Knowing that the TPs were up, they needed to just back off. And with that, the Herald was able to go over to Dal White. So now Dal White not only has 6 grubs, but they also have this Herald. They should be able to knock down some of these towers. Brel jumps in, misses the knockup, misses the stun. Alistar looking, just trying to zone, allowing this Jin to farm. A 2-level lead over the Gnar. This Rumble has over the Gnar. That can be, his damage is going to start to hurt, especially with that Leandries. Even though Lil Fellas is down 5k gold, it's not the end of the world. Vigar stacks and Jin does more damage in the late game. Right now, Lil Fellas need to do the best that they can to just stop the bleeding and allow the game to just continue, because the more items that the carries can get and the more items that the front line can get, the longer these team fights can last and the more in favor it will go for Lil Fellas. Dal White has upfront burst damage. If they can survive the upfront burst damage, Lil Fellas will be favored in these fights. But right now, the early game is leaning heavily towards Dal White. For this Gnar needs to focus on the wave and not Rumble during this, because if he can clear the wave, Rumble can't do anything to the tower. Fiddlesticks was waiting, gets spotted out. Engage comes from the Alistar, knocks back the Draven. Rel ult comes in. Rumble shows up, equalizer. All 5 mid for Dal White, focusing down this Alistar. Down goes Alistar. Herald drops. They're going to focus for this tier 1 mid. First tier tower goes down. They're not going to look for a second. Dal White rotating bot. They're trying to grab this first tier tower for the bot lane. Pantheon's going to try and secure that while the rest of the team backs, so they can spend their gold for this dragon fight that's coming up in 30 seconds. We have a Mountain Drake. Mountain Drake is huge for either team, but primarily it would be even stronger on Lil Fellas. Flash comes out of the Gnar, followed by a counter flash from the Rumble, able to get out from that stun. Amumu's on the top side, but this dragon is spawning now, and Lil Fellas is not in position for this dragon. Are they going to concede this dragon? The wards that are placed down by Dal White have the red side jungle completely lit up of Lil Fellas. Gnar continuing to split push. Zavi trying to clear out mid wave. Meanwhile, Dal White focusing this dragon. Gnar can go Mega Gnar. Equalizer comes down. Amumu looking. Amumu ult, followed by the Gnar ult. They jumping onto this Rumble. They need to continue to apply this pressure. Rumble burning down the Gnar. Gnar barely living and able to secure that kill on the Rumble. Gold lead still only a 5k difference. But Lil Fellas is scaling. They are starting to get some type of momentum. They just need to continue to stop the bleeding. And if they can stop this bleeding, they are heavily favored for the late game. Right now we have Baron spawning, and there's no dragon on the map due to the fact that they have no tier 1 towers in the mid and bot side. I would like to see Little Fellas trying to focus on wards on the top side of the map, keeping their red side of the jungle warded, and at least one ward on Baron at all times. Making sure that they have these crevices warded or seen is of utmost importance, because Fiddlesticks at any point in time can pop out with a huge 5-man fear if they stack up and they don't know where he's at. Rel coming in with a stun. Meganar comes in. He ults Rel into under the tower. Now they're focusing on the tower. Tier 1 top goes down. Alistar is roaming. Right now what Little Fellas need is either a Bramble Vest on this Alistar or a Oblivion Orb on the Amumu, because this Fiddlesticks, the Pantheon, and the Draven can all heal exceptionally during these fights. There's going to need some type of heal cut, because if they don't have any heal cut, they're just not going to be able to sustain the fight the way that Dal White can. Bandage toss goes wide. Alistar jumps in. Rel gets rooted. Little Fellas able to spot out this Fiddlesticks for any type of flanks. Dal White playing to their strengths. Dal White's team comp is heavily favored around flanking, so these wards are going to be of utmost importance for Little Fellas. Where Little Fellas, they're more of a front to back team fight comp. A minute and a half until this next Mountain Drake. Page comes in, Bandage Toss lands, Ultimate lands from the Amumu. They're trying to focus down this Rumble with a huge equalizer. Little Fella's running away. Stun comes in from the Pantheon, who's unable to land that kill on the Gnar. Gnar almost Mega Gnar. Draven Axes are going to execute him. Dal White setting up for this Baron. They're clearing out all the vision. Right now, with both objectives about to be up, it would be smarter for Little Fellas to try and figure out which side that Dal White's trying to go. Because if they try and take this Mountain Drake and they flip the Baron, it could be game after that. So Little Fellas need to be careful. Rel looking for an engage. Battle lines are set. Gnar with a TP. Or TP available. Making sure there's a ward. Mumu's looking. Rel's looking. Dragon has been started. Vygar landing poke. Here comes the TP from the Gnar. All 5 are here. Looking for an engage. Curtain calling opens up. Equalizer coming down. Those are 2 big ults. Gnar jumping in. Gnar going Mega Gnar. Being stunned up by the... There it is. All 5 going in. Fiddlesticks looks for the backline. He's trying to grab the backline of Little Fellas. Little Fellas is losing this fight heavily. There's 2 split. The carry's just doing too much damage, and the fear coming out of the Fiddlesticks was massive for Dal White. And Pantheon being able to clean up for a clean ace for Dal White. They pick up the third Mountain Drake, and now they're beelining for the Baron. That fight was way too split. The carries were in the back line being annihilated by the Fiddlesticks, and too much distance was being too much space was being introduced into the team fight. The carries had no protection because the front line already went in. They had no way of coming back out. What needs to happen in these team fights is Alistar needs to stay back. Either Alistar or Amumu needs to only be the one engaging. Gnar needs to wait and hold for Mega Gnar as long as possible to allow the fight to start, and then he can jump and disrupt the team fight with a Mega Gnar ult. But Alistar or Amumu need to be the only one engaging, because one of them needs to stay back to be able to peel for this Jhin and this Veigar. The cage can only do but so much. And during these team fights, Veigar needs to use the cage defensively. If they're able to do that, they can win these team fights, even being behind 11k gold or 12k gold. They can still win these team fights if they position properly for it. But again, no one has grievous wounds yet for the side of Lil Fellas. They need some type of heal reduction. There was way too much healing coming out of Dal White. Even though they were able to do very good damage, they were not able to capitalize on it because they were just healing left and right. Right now, there's no main objectives. Baron on all 5 members of Dal White. They're gonna look to start pushing this mid lane tower inhibitor tower. Pantheon splitting off. Fiddlesticks looking for a flank. Cage lands. Knock up. Down goes Draven. Fiddlesticks coming in. Equalizer lands. Lil Fellas is able to is winning this fight for the time being, but no, Rumble flashes forward, is able to land 1 kill, go stasis. That all of Dal White's is focusing on this Alistar. And they're gonna be able to take this mid-tier inhibitor tower. And that was a 3 for 2 in favor of Dal White, and they're gonna be able to secure this first inhibitor. And maybe they're gonna rotate top. Okay, they're gonna split. They're gonna allow the Pantheon to try and take this bot lane inhibitor tower. While Fiddlesticks and Rel are gonna try and take this top lane inhibitor tower. That's 2 inhibitors with this Baron. This is a huge Baron play for Dal White. Right now, Dal White just needs to reset, spend their gold. They have such a lead. All they need to do is spend their gold and get these items, and they can literally win these team fights with just their wallets alone. Soul point for Dal White. 1 minute for this next Mountain Drake, and that'd be soul for Dal White if they're able to secure it. With the base bleeding for Lil Fellas, they need to just play defensively and do the best they can to try and keep these waves from not being pressed into them. With the Baron buff gone on Dal White, they don't have to worry about empowered minions just being able to push through. But they can't step too forward because this Pantheon can easily one-shot the carries of Lil Fellas. 10 seconds until this Mountain Drake spawns. Dal White trying to find a pick onto any one of Lil Fellas. Dal White starts the Dragon Soul, starts for Dragon Soul as soon as it spawns. There isn't too much the Little Fellas can do about this. Right now, I will admit though that I like how they have that Little Fellas do have vision all across their red side and a little bit on their blue side, so they do know where Dal White is. But will that be enough to be able to stop this push? Dal White aiming for the top side. They're gonna go for this top lane inhibitor to have all 3 inhibs down. Let's see what happens. Battle lines are drawn. Gnar's is halfway on his Gnar bar. Veigar looking for a cage, lands the cage. They start focusing on the rail. Here comes Pantheon for the flank. Gnar building up his bar. Veigar just trying to stun. Mega Gnar is up. Dal White needs to wait it out. They need to wait for the Mega Gnar to go down before they look for this engage. Draven stuck in the cage. Mega Gnar's ran out. He's back into Mini Gnar form. But Mumu needs to come back down. They catch the cage on this. But Alistar knocks him away. Vanish Toss lands. Ultimate lands. Little Fellas goes in for the kill. Is able to land a kill. But the return from the Fiddlesticks and the Rumble Equalizer is just melting away Little Fellas. Dal White trying to focus that. Here goes the Draven just running down the Veigar. Veigar flashes away. Jhin trying to get the kill. Can he get the 4-shot off? No, he cannot. Draven gets the gold. Rel is unable to jump in because of the cage. Gnar coming back with Mega Gnar. He gets Mega Gnar, but he's feared. He can't Mega Gnar. There he goes. Down goes Gnar. Dal White able to zone out the Veigar and finish out these towers, and they're able to take a decisive game 1 win over Little Fellas.